begin our look at sports on the gridiron, I, get to say that this is all about preseason, but boy, oh boy, Daniel Jones keeps checking boxes, folks. The rookie signal caller showed physical toughness in his first road preseason game Thursday night. Jones lost a fumble on a sack, but followed it up by making some tough throws on a touchdown drive. The heir apparent to Eli Manning took over the offense after one Manning series. Manning went 4 of 8 passing for 41 yards, which resulted in a field goal. Jones one-upped him, folks. He was 9 of 11 passing for 141 yards. He has completed an impressive 25 of 30 passes for 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions through 3 preseason games. Maybe that preseason prediction of Jones leading a giant playoff run wasn't so outlandish after all. The G-men won 25-23, by the way. Everyone is surprised at Jones's performance thus far. Everyone, that is, except the Giants and maybe myself. Roundly criticized for using the 6th overall choice on the former Duke star. The Giants never expected anything less than what Jones has done so far. Open quote, "You can ask me all you want why I like him." Close quote, head coach Pat Shurmur said Thursday night via Tom Rock of Newsday. "I think it's time to start asking the people that didn't like him what they think, quite frankly." Meanwhile, the other team in the building will host the New Orleans Saints Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. The Jets and the Saints are both 1-1 on the preseason. Let's shift gears to the baseball diamond. The Metropolitans are cooking these days. How about 5 straight dubs for the Mets? Noah Syndergaard retired the first 16 hitters and allowed 2 hits over 6 dominant innings before a heavy storm interrupted him. The New York Mets beat the Cleveland Indians 2-0 Thursday night in a rain-shortened game for their 5th straight win. J.D. Davis, in that picture right there, made a Willie Mays-like catch in this one after playing hero in walk-off fashion during this series with the Indians. The Amazons have been pretty amazing after all, Rena. Catching up with the Yanks in Oakland, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, the pesky A's swept the Bronx Bombers. Tanner Roark struck out 7 and didn't walk a batter over 6+ innings. Yankees starter Masahiro Tanaka struggled early, and Oakland beat New York 5-3 Thursday night for a 3-game series sweep. The Yankees are now on to L.A. to face the Dodgers in a potential World Series matchup. The host Dodgers have the momentum, but the Pinstripers have the incentive when the two teams with the best records in baseball meet for the first time since 2016 in a 3-game series that opens Friday night tonight. Left-handers Ryu of the Dodgers and James Paxton of the Yanks are slated to duel in a rare regular season head-to-head matchup of franchises that have met 11 times in the Fall Classic, with New York prevailing on 8 of those occasions. Now, Rena, you know I had to mention that one, right? The Dodgers, 85-44, have moved into the fast lane in their attempt to finish with the best record in the National League and thus clinch home field advantage throughout the National League playoffs. They have won 3 in a row overall and 5 straight at home, the last 2 coming in walk-off fashion against the Toronto Blue Jays to open a comfortable 8-game cushion over the Atlanta Braves for the NL's best record. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. We'll stick with baseball. Major League Baseball said on Thursday it was suspending involvement in the upcoming Venezuelan professional baseball season pending instructions from the U.S. government, which has reportedly sanctioned the South American nation's government. The Houston Astros denied a Detroit Free Press reporter access to Justin Verlander after Wednesday night's 2-1 loss to the Detroit Tigers. That could have implications, Can't trip up the media. In football, the Dallas Cowboys reportedly have offered to make holdout Ezekiel Elliott one of the NFL's 2 highest paid running backs. In a related story, Zeke is working out with Hall of Fame running back Marshall Faulk in Cabo. New England Patriots safety Patrick Chung reportedly was indicted on a charge of cocaine possession in New Hampshire. We shall see how that story develops. Pats QB Tom Brady's application to trademark the term Tom Terrific has been refused by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Brady, who said his goal was to ensure people didn't refer to him by that nickname, created a stir among New York Met fans. Of course he did, because Tom Terrific is the nickname of Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Seaver. As it turns out, Brady's application for the trademark was officially refused on Thursday because, open quote, the applied for mark consists of or includes matter which may falsely suggest a connection with Tom Seaver, close quote. Brady has up to 6 months to respond to the rejection. If there is no response in that time period, the request for the trademark will be abandoned. In tennis, Wimbledon finalists Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer are on a semifinal collision course at the U.S. Open after they were placed in the same half of the draw on Thursday. In golf, Justin Thomas missed 2 short putts in a mediocre even par 70 on the first day of the Tour Championship, but ended up the round tied with 2 for the lead with two fellow Americans, including Brooks Koepka. And hoops news, with his team playing on a raised basketball court in a stadium normally used for soccer and cricket, USA basketball coach Greg Popovich said he felt like he was on a movie set. But once the game started, Popovich thought it all seemed very normal. Kemba Walker scored 23 points out of the Bronx. Miles Turner added 15 and 14 rebounds, and the U.S. topped Australia 102-86 on Thursday before a crowd of 51,218 billed as the largest crowd ever to watch a game of basketball in Australia. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for an example of how to turn your life around. New Rochelle native Ray Rice never returned to football following domestic abuse charges. Although players can never, take away those bad decisions and actions, some do a good job of trying to recover from them and teach others about their mistakes. Ray has appeared to do this. Rice recently spoke to the Alabama college football team and has become a motivational speaker of sorts. Then a member of the Baltimore Ravens, the former Rutgers running back, was suspended by the NFL in 2014 after videos surfaced of Rice punching his then fiancee Janae Palmer and dragging her unconscious body out of an elevator. Initially suspended, Rice never played another down in the NFL. Rice, who is now married to Palmer, has since turned to helping others, speaking in front of football players at programs such as Georgia, Ohio State, and Bama. Give credit to Nick Saban here, too. If you're trying to show your players how to avoid doing things the wrong way, bringing in someone who did one of the most absolutely vile things and is successfully turning his life around is probably not the worst way to go about your business. Already this offseason, Saban has brought in Mike Tyson to speak to his football team. On Thursday, Rice was in Tuscaloosa as the Crimson Tide head coach's Title IX speaker to touch on subjects such as domestic violence. Happy to see Ray Rice back on track. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. When we return, we will have the man behind the greatest rivalry in sports.